This tutorial is going to focus on the application called the Customer Jobs to be Done. Now, this is one of the last foundational architecture applications to develop a robust strategy. As a reminder, at the top here, you can always filter to understand what these strategic apps are. And the order in which I typically do these is top to bottom, right to left. So we started with our market narrative, we've evaluated trends, we've tested features. Now I want to dive into customer insights to really hone my product positioning before I build the communication platform. Once I have all 5 of these done, I can then move into the builder tools and put it all into action. So let's dive into the application and show you what it does. So the way that this application is laid out, it's going to ask a few things that the application already knows, but it's specifically going to ask me about who my customers are. So with the product description, let's say that I can grab this from my memory or I can type a new one. Let's say that my snacks are plant-based protein snacks. And I'm going to say that these are made specifically with fava, since that was unique to the market features. Made exclusively with Canadian fava beans. Okay. The 3 types of customers that I'm going to focus on, we like to think of these as customer extremes. I talked about this in the introduction video to this process. I want to think about very different types of people that I can solve problems for with the same product. So let's start with my primary audience. Who's the person that's going to buy the product? These would be parents looking for healthy options. And that I can include a description, or I can just talk about parents with young children. That would be one. Another one that would be radically different would be a retail category buyer. So this is the difference being, this is somebody at home versus somebody at work. Retail category buyer. And I can do up to 3 customers at a time, so I could also say that, let's just say this would be like a healthy enthusiast. Under 30 years old. Okay. Capitalize healthy here so it looks good in the titles. And like always, I'll bring in my brand narrative. This will be foundational here. And then submit. And what it's going to do at the beginning, it's going to ask me what market I want to focus on. So based on who those customers are, they might be thinking about what I'm selling differently than how I'm thinking of selling this. So this whole application is meant to put ourselves in the mindset of our customers. So it'll highlight 3 different possible markets that I could evaluate when I'm looking for data resources on the behaviors of these customers, the pain points of these customers. So let's say I'm going to focus on plant protein market here. And before we dive into the customer insights, it's really important to understand that my product is not the only new technology in the space. So it's going to highlight recent developments that have happened in this space that might already be in the mindsets of my customers. So the way that we highlight this is I'm going to give you an overview of what the technology is, and I'm also going to give you an overview of how it's influenced the market. So for this market specifically, this is fermentation technology in plant proteins. This is making it so more than just organically harvested farm products can create a plant protein to create high protein products. And high moisture extrusion, this is another technology that has been very influential in the marketplace of plant-based products. So the way that this exercise is going to work is I'm going to focus on one customer at a time. And what's going to happen is the application is going to present me frustrations that that customer is dealing with. We'll start with parents with young children. Actually, let's do something a little bit more specific. Let's do a retail category buyer, because they're going to have some really specific needs that I need to serve with my product. And the problems that are presented to me, I'm going to go through a walkthrough, and it's going to take me into each problem, present how it's existing in the mindset of my customer, and I will have to solve that problem through an avenue of the business that I'm driving. So the way that these products are going to be graded at the end is each solution that I bring to a problem is going to be graded on two variables. First variable is going to be the level of frustration that the customer is dealing with at that time. Like, how frustrated are they with the current options that they have in the market? And then also, how important is that problem? That's the second element. So first element is frustration. Second element is going to be the level of importance. These will be graded on a scale of 1 to 5. And the goal is to find the highest score problems and start including those into the value propositions in our marketing copy, in our sales copy. So first problem is going to be presented with both an image of the problem itself and then a description of that problem. And the description is going to be as it's spoken in common speak. So this one's going to be falling behind without timely data. And then as usual, when there's any summary, you're going to see the play button. So this will happen 6 times. It's going to present me with 6 different problems. This one being that they don't have timely data to make decisions. This next problem here is where they're struggling to find reliable suppliers. So I have to think through, as I'm nearing the setup of the answers, how would I actually solve that from a conversational standpoint, from a product feature standpoint? What can I do to actually solve that important problem for my customer? The next one, number 3, is going to be more about suppliers. So the fact that their issues are draining, whether it's communication breakdown or conflict in delivery schedules. And because I'm vertically integrated, I might actually have a pretty perfect solution for that. This one is about negotiations, so I can approach this with transparent pricing, for example. Keep up is exhausting. Let's see what this says. Okay, so managing a diverse product range to ensure that the shelves cater to all sorts of customer preferences is overwhelming. So that's really specific to a retail buyer category manager. Now you'll understand that this is actually a B2B sale that I'm evaluating. This is not a B2C sale. So my first customer, which is going to be the parents, they'll have a B2C product sale. So I can lean on value propositions of high protein content, etc. It looks like for this customer, I really have to address their supply chain issues and data issues. So here's what happens. When we want to solve each point, it's going to ask us what job should we do to solve that problem. That's why this is called the jobs to be done. And then based on our narrative and our opposing force and key features, because it does have this ability to listen to the different applications, I'll always recommend some elements from the narrative that could be utilized. So that's what these 3 are. These are recommendations, but you don't have to take those. So let's say we have a real-time market data platform for plant-based snack trends. Let's say that exists in our company, and we can present super relevant data to our customer when we're trying to sell to them. Now this platform is going to take me through all 6 questions because we want to grade those all at once to really understand where they land on that XY axis to figure out which is the highest value solutions that I should be focused on. Reliable suppliers. So remember I had said that I'm vertically integrated. So I could say vertically integrate our supply chain to eliminate surprises. All right. That's for pain point number 2. Pain point number 3. This was the hiccup, so I could use that same thing, or I could take something here like develop integrated supplier collaboration platforms for real-time updates. That is something that we have within our organization, so I'll use that since we are both a manufacturer of ingredients and creator of the finished product. And one thing that we're going to be doing with this business is transparent pricing with our suppliers. So let's just say an easy job would be to make pricing transparent for everyone. That'd be a way I could approach that. You don't always want to be super specific with a really specific feature. Some can be broad. This is having to do with the trends. This is kind of a good one here. I'll take this third one. And I'm going to just use these as examples, but ultimately, these are not bad ideas, and I will be able to build key features on top of this and key competitor strategies on top of this. We're really just looking to see how these stack up and are graded. So this is the last one, and then I'm going to get the grades. So for this one, I'd say we offer products with really high shelf turnover. Meaning customers buy this all the time. I'd say like all year round. There we go. Okay. So now that I've created 6 jobs for that specific customer pain point, you'll notice that a lot of my narrative didn't actually address those issues. So when we are refining our narrative and turning it into a communication platform, I can be very specific on how I approach the jobs to be done with this customer. So the first paragraph that they hear, the second paragraph that they hear, feels like it's tailored just for them. And here's how this looks. It's going to overview a few things. First, it's going to give you an overview of the priorities of that specific customer. So they want market trends and insights, health and sustainability focus, supplier relationship and negotiations. Like these are their critical measures of how they engage with things. And again, you'll notice that none of these were really built into my narrative yet. So these are new discoveries that I can put into my product positioning. The next thing it's going to overview is the level of importance for each of these problems, because not every problem is made equal. So this is on that 1 to 5 scale. The lack of timely market data seems to be of the most importance. So what the other grades that we're going to get are going to be the level of dissatisfaction that they have with the products out there. And here's a good example. Just because this is the most important problem doesn't mean I'm the only one that knows that. So here, where it gets a grade of 3, that's almost average. That's because there's several market data platforms available in market. And this is the important multiplier, where the vertically integrated supply chain to eliminate surprises, that was actually the thing that they don't have a lot of access to. And to create an idea of which is going to rise to the top, we'll actually multiply each of these. So the ones that are of most importance is going to be the integrated supplier collaboration platform and the real-time data. And I can actually try to combine those as well. So it's this multiplier to understand the overall value that lets me know which are my 2 most important jobs to communicate to that customer so that they're more willing to listen to all my unique features. And the way that this happens is I'll actually develop the marketing copy specifically for that. So this is new copy and paste elements that you can start putting into your presentation briefs and your website page overviews, etc. This is going to be content that's super, super valuable, and it's targeted specifically for this type of a customer. Now, as I said, you can do all 3 customers. I'll likely stop the video here, but I'll keep going behind the scenes to actually get data, and I'll show you how we put that to work in our communication platform. I'll do the parents with young children next.